Namaste, fist pump, that noise is the fan. I'm cycling on the bike just now, getting some low intensity done, fasted, and that's what I'd like to talk today about, which is fasted training. So sorry I'm shouting, I just want to make sure I'm over the fan. I'll make this video really short. So fasted training, is it beneficial for overall fat loss? I would say yes in the long term, in the short term, no. So all the short-term studies basically say, hey, yes, when you are fasted and you do cardio training, you are burning more fat as a fuel source. That's awesome. But if you burn 100 calories of fat and then you eat 100 calories of fat later on, you just canceled out. So your total caloric intake will pretty much dictate how beneficial that particular session is. So if you burn 2,200 calories in that day and you did some fasted training, it makes all difference if you eat 2,200. If fasted training, however, like I'm doing just now, we're at 11:30 today, right now, and I haven't eaten other than had a coffee. If that helps you keep your total caloric load down, awesome. And there's a second benefit. Because you're using more fat when you're doing fasted training, you're forcing more fat into the mitochondria, and you're training that mitochondria to handle more fat. So that mitochondria becomes more efficient at burning fat. So you, particularly zone 2, my download link is in the description. So particularly zone 2 makes you better at burning fat. And the study that I keep going back to is the Indigo San Milan study. I'll link it up here. And you got your elite cyclists, your recreational cyclists, and your type 2 diabetic people. And the type 2 diabetes people can produce less watts before they need to rely on carbohydrates. Recreationals even more, and the elite athletes in the elite level. Shouldn't really concern yourself about the elite level because most of those guys are genetic mutants and they're not you, but the recreational athletes are certainly a place where you can get to. So this is zone 2 just now. I can kind of have a conversation. Occasionally I need to breathe. I can fully nose breathe quite calmly. So that is zone 2 training in fat burning mode. Actually gets you better at burning fat. And I think short-term fasted training, not helpful. Long-term, really helpful. Makes your mitochondria more efficient at burning fat. And if you're better at burning fat, it means you don't have to rely on carbohydrates. And if you don't have to rely on carbohydrates and you become more insulin sensitive, you can store more of those carbohydrates, particularly in the legs. That's why cycling is really useful. If cycling is the only thing you do, it's not great for osteoporosis. You need to do some weight training on the side and some sort of impact stuff on the side. But as far as cycling goes, it's going to really improve that insulin sensitivity in the legs, which is the first place insulin resistance starts. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to become a better fat burner, which means you're not going to rely on carbohydrates so much for the day. So you're not going to get so many energy swings. So in the short term, your kind of total caloric intake will matter, but over the long term, by doing and practicing zone 2, you're going to go from here to up here, and it's going to make your adherence to diet so much better. And that's a big picture thing. So fasted training, if you enjoy doing it, and if you have a Lumen device, you can measure before if you're 1 or 2, and then half an hour after you're still 1 or 2. That was an effective session. If you're 1 or 2, and then you're moving to a 3, 4, 5 after, you might have gone too hard and too stressful for that fasted session, and you need to take in some calories to lower that stress response a little bit. If you start off with 4 or 5 in the morning and you move down, awesome. If you start with 4 or 5 and you're leveled across, have a look at some of your other lifestyle factors. Maybe you just took in too much food. You might be a little insulin resistance, but it really takes time to develop. Really looking at 3 months minimum of doing 10 to 20 minutes a week as a beginner, and then taking that up to 40 minutes a few times a week, and reaching that World Health Organization standard of 120 minutes. And if you read in my zone 2 guide, I have a way of working out how much zone 2 you should do based on your sleep. Anyway, that's my video. Don't want to be too much because I don't want this fan to annoy the hell out of you. And that's my video on fasted training.